together after seeing that, right? Seeing someone from your very own team as a rising star. Guys, that is what AdvoCare gets in your heart. Well, I'm excited to train you up today on what I consider to be the fast track to success. When Laramie and I started in AdvoCare in April 2012, our plate of life was very full. Elementary school teacher, night shift cop, teaching group fitness, doing real estate, contracting for the Department of Energy, started a handgun carry business. We're all busy. So my dream, my vision with AdvoCare was first and foremost to get healthy. We wanted absolutely nothing to do with the business. And I'm so thankful that my sponsor just loved on me and respected me right where I was at. But it didn't take us long, 2 days, to place an advisor order after having product in our body, because I thought, you know what, this is a way that my family can bring in an extra $200. That was my vision. I wanted to cover that Verizon bill that's due on the 1st, that we all pay on the 14th, right? So that was my vision. And so what I want you to see from and hear from this training today is that AdvoCare is meant to be built part-time. You see a lot of these stories on stage and you think, you're doing this full-time. I can't succeed at that level. Yes, you can, and I'm going to train you on how we did it too. So, 3-way phone calls and 2-on-1 meetings. And you're going, seriously, Lois, I've heard this before, right? But maybe you haven't stopped to understand the why. You heard me say that I'm a teacher, and my degree is not in teaching. My degree is in child development and learning, because you have to understand how kids learn before you can effectively teach them. And so maybe you've not stopped to really understand why 3-way phone calls, why 2-on-1 meetings, and that's what's going to click for you today. Because you see that road? It's been paved for you. We have so many leaders that have gone ahead of us that have paved the way for success. The question is, will you step on the path and follow? You heard Michelle Bishop say there's no need to reinvent the wheel. And so we're going to follow suit and follow those people that are succeeding. So let's look at the why from really 2 perspectives. First, from you, the business builder. I knew that I had a very limited amount of time when we decided to pursue this. I could not sit and memorize catalogs. I could not sit on webinars for 4 hours. I couldn't wait and research every ingredient. I needed to get started. So for you as the business builder, 3-way phone calls and 2-on-1 meetings allow you to learn and earn. And even better, they allow you to work smarter, not harder. And that's what we're all looking for. If we're going to give part-time effort, it needs to be efficient. That's what 3-way phone calls are going to do for you. I student taught for an entire semester and no one paid me a dime. No one paid me to spend hours in that classroom after school on the weekends. But with this, when I started that apprenticeship learning, I was earning $4,500 the first month, $6,000 the second, and by 8th month into the business, we had paid off over $30K in debt building AdvoCare part-time. So this is powerful. Now, we've talked about you, the business builder. It's not really about you. Let's think about that prospect that you're putting on the phone. So I want you to visualize that when you share your story, that's like showing someone a little AdvoCare fishbowl. It's great, you've got a powerful story, but when you plug someone in and you bring in that third-party credibility, you open up the aquarium. And I had to let the pride and ego go. I've been on product for 5 days. Don't carry much credibility with 5 days. And so when I would plug people into my mentor, she'd been in the business for over 3 years. It showed the product users this isn't a diet. And it showed those interested in the business that there was longevity. So they're also going to see the teamwork. They're going to see the energy. The why in doing 3-way phone calls is so powerful. So if you've said to a teammate before, just put me on the phone. Just just like, put me on the phone. I need you to line up calls. Put me on the phone. And they're not doing it. Maybe you've not explained the why. Because they need to understand it's not because they're lacking in skill. It's not because you're the closer. It's about that third-party credibility. So, what is the three-way phone call? Because we need to take a step back, because I thought, three-way phone call. Am I like Kimmy Gibbler with a side ponytail? Like, I'm not so sure about this situation. So first, let me tell you what it is not. It is not a group message on Facebook. Hey Lois, I've got my friend Susie Q. She's wanting to hear about the challenge. A three-way phone call is not plugging someone into a webinar. You see, AdvoCare has always been and always will be about building relationships. And you can't do that without getting voice-to-voice with people. So what is the three-way call? It's you, your prospect, and that third-party credibility. That equals success. Let's talk about some frustration. When you try to go at this alone, when you isolate yourself and you put yourself on AdvoCare Island and you get bombarded with questions, negativity, doubt, and it starts to frustrate you. So lock arms with your mentor and get started with your three-way phone calls. Okay? So the how, this is really important because I had not done a three-way phone call since like 4th grade, right? I'm going, do I need to push star 86 on my phone or how's that work? So make sure that you practice before you execute your first three-way phone call because we want to feel professional. So I've got a picture of a phone. It's not popping up. There we go. That's what it looks like on my phone. So you may want to make sure that you practice that. Call your mama, call your granny, put them on a three-way phone call, and just get the kinks worked out, okay? But there is etiquette involved in a three-way phone call. If I'm going to present someone with what I believe is a life-changing product and a life-changing opportunity, I want to be professional. So we have to really follow some three-way phone call etiquette. Pre, during, and post. So pre, nothing is worse than the phone ringing. Hello? Oh, hey, you got Susie on the line. Okay, is she constipated? Does she want to quit her life-sucking job? Like, you know, there's no setup, and you get dumped in the phone call, and it's awkward. So the pre is very important. You want to set the time with your third-party credibility. We want to be mindful of people's schedules. We have kids, we have jobs, we have life. We want to make sure that we can be fully attentive when we're on the phone, okay? So set up the call with your mentor, and they will walk you through with what that looks like. Our team is great about just shooting us a text, get it on the calendar, and we're good to go. We want to set up the call by really making sure that we're edifying our mentor. And we want to avoid creepy and weird language like three-way phone call. So to an outside AdvoCare person, they do not know what you are talking about. And so we just set it up as I really want to connect you with my friend, or really want us to talk to my friend, versus would you like to do a three-way phone call, right? Like that sounds a little creepy and weird. So we want to be avoiding that lingo. So pre is very important so we can be successful. During the call, if you are the one that's putting someone on the phone, you have the easy part. You introduce, you tell a little bit about both parties, and you click mute so that you can listen. And no, guys, that's so that someone doesn't feel assaulted, right? By one person coming at them and someone else is talking, and then we get interrupted, and it feels unprofessional. So it's just being respectful for that person so that they can take it all in. Okay? If you're the third-party credibility, this is your job to kind of warm them, right? So I always want to make a friend first. I'm looking for a way to make a connection so that they realize I am not sitting at corporate with a headset on behind a mahogany desk doing the AdvoCare business. I'm just Lois. I'm just doing life. And I want to connect with that person so they can see from the beginning that I'm real. And then post after the call. I'll always kick it back and say I'm going to hand it back to Susie and let her wrap it up. It was nice to meet you. The wrap-up lasts for 1 minute, and it usually is one question. So what'd you think? Insert awkward silence. How many of you are a little uncomfortable with silence and you want to keep talking, right? So So we want to hear what they're thinking. If it's someone that's brand new, I'm going to help follow up with them. We're shadowing and learning in that process, okay? Now, scenarios. This is going to be a light bulb moment for a lot of you. We understand the why. We understand what it is. We understand how to do the phone calls. What about when? And so we teach our team that there are 4 scenarios that it's just a knee-jerk reaction. I don't have to stop and go, should I do a 3-way phone call in this scenario? You know you should. If you are new within that 30 to 60 days of being in the business, then you are constantly lining up 3-way phone calls. Now, this is someone who's made that decision, right? Because I know some people have a start date in AdvoCare and some people have a decision date. You've heard stories of people being on product for 5-6 years and then making the decision. So this is 30 to 60 days after your decision date. And you're plugging people into your mentors. So it may sound a little something like this. So I'm so excited, Susie, to introduce you to my friend Laura. You're really going to connect to her. She's a mom just like you, and she's really helped me grow this business in the last 3 years. I cannot wait for you to meet her. So when do you have just about 23 minutes? Tonight at 7 or tomorrow at 4? See how I didn't end it with a yes or no? I didn't end it with, would you like to do a 3-way phone call with your sponsor? Right? Well, that's weird. That's creepy. And so we just want to be friendly with people, and we want to take them from A to B. These people have never done AdvoCare before. We understand that this is a process, and we have to guide them through it. What about when you get someone started on a product? Good old constipation. It happens to the best of us. And so it's going to happen that you get someone started on product and they start to feel a little icky. And so I would say to that person, Susie Q, I want to give you the best customer service. I want you to feel as good as I do, and I want to connect you with my friend Laura. She's been on these products for over 3 years, and she's going to be able to help us get you moving in the right direction, okay? So it's always setting it up in the person's best interest. All right, next scenario. Mapping out a plan. Life exists in AdvoCare after the 24-day challenge. But if they don't know about it, they're going to think that AdvoCare is just a string of random 24-day challenges. We've got people on our team, like my beautiful friend Kyle Hastings, that came to AdvoCare to gain weight. And we've got friends like my beautiful friend Tanya Lowe that came to AdvoCare to lose weight. The plan looks different for each person. So when I connect in that scenario, I'm going to say, Kyle, I want to connect you with my friend Laramie. You see my man, he's a stud, right? I'm going to connect you with my friend Laramie, and he's going to be able to map out a plan to help keep this momentum going. We've had great results in the challenge, and we want to get you set up for this lifestyle phase. So when do you have just about 23 minutes to talk? Tonight at 7 or tomorrow at 4, right? And then the last scenario is to introduce, because you are going to get so good at talking to people about AdvoCare that they will want to jump on product right away. Go with it. If someone's wanting to get started on a challenge, go with it. But we want to make sure that we plug them in at some point to the success system. Because guys, everything we do is a training, good or bad. So if we're not modeling 3-way phone calls, guess what your team's not doing? Rachel Witt, she's amazing. You're going to get to hear from her a little bit later today. She still introduces me to every single person she recruits because she understands it's not about her pen, it's not about her paycheck, it's not about her purpose, it's about that person and them getting to see AdvoCare correctly from the beginning. So I hope that helps. 4 scenarios. Now, a 2-on-1 meeting, we're going to take this 3-way phone call